A championship doubleheader in Misano and Barcelona made for the perfect send-off as MotoGP waves goodbye to Europe for now. Two blockbuster events kept us on the edge of our seats, and before we jet off to Asia, let's take a look back at some of the action you may have missed. These are your other battles from the Catalan and San Marino Grand Prix. In a restarted Barcelona race, it was a day to remember for Aprilia as Aleix Espargaro and Maverick Viñales made it a 1-2 on the podium. A little further back, Miguel Oliveira ensured there were 3 RSGPs in the top 5 despite losing out to Joan Zarco late on. Alex Marquez crossed the line behind the Portuguese rider with this lap 8 move on Jack Miller, moving him into 6th place. Fabio Quartararo was only a few tenths behind the Gresini rider by the time he took the checkered flag, with the Yamaha man putting in an impressive comeback ride. The Frenchman launched 17th on the grid, but a strong opening lap in the restarted race saw him get up to 10th. That meant he could get the hooks into Marc Marquez, eventually moving by him on lap 3. Next up for the 2021 World Champion was KTM's Jack Miller, with that move coming at the turn 1-2 chicane on lap 12. Quartararo then began to chase down Alex Marquez, but couldn't find a move as he finished 3 tenths behind the 73 for 7th. Another rider to launch a comeback ride from deeper on the grid was Augusto Fernandez. The Gas Tech 3-man started 19th, but steadily worked his way through the pack. After the opening lap, he was latched onto the back of Fabio Di Giannantonio, and the two engaged in a race-long battle. The Italian managed to put a rider between them at times, including Marc Marquez, but by lap 9, both had passed the Repsol Honda star to fight for 9th. It took 10 laps for Augusto to make his move, but then Digia responded to regain the place. However, Fernandez took his chance on the final lap, leaving the Gresini rider with no time to respond and crossing the line in P10. It proved a difficult outing for Marco Bezzecchi in Catalonia, with the 72 caught up in the multi-rider opening corner crash before the red flag was waved. The Italian did take his place on the grid for the restarted race, but was carrying a knock as a consequence of that collision, which affected his rhythm later in the day. Despite that, he did have his moments, getting by Marc Marquez on lap 12 down the front straight. Then his Mooney VR46 teammate Luca Marini, having already dispatched of Franco Morbidelli, did the same against the 8-time world champion. The two teammates were then locked in battle for 11th, even experiencing some friendly fire around turn 10. In the end, this move by Marini saw him take bragging rights in Barcelona, as Bezzecchi failed to fully capitalise on title rival Pecco Bagnaglia's absence in the restarted race. There was little time to rest up and recover as the paddock went straight to Misano for the San Marino GP, where Jorge Martin completed the clean sweep ahead of Bezzecchi and Bagnaia. Another decent outing saw Miguel Oliveira record back-to-back top 6 finishes for the first time this year. The opening lap saw the Crypto Data RNF rider gain 3 places before beginning a brilliant race-long battle with Marc Marquez. The Portuguese rider managed to get ahead of the number 93, but Marquez stole back the initiative on lap 9. Oliveira bided his time and eventually hit back on lap 22, making a move at Quercia, which secured him 6th place. The drama wasn't quite over for Marquez though, as the HRC rider still had to hold off the challenges of Luca Marini and Raul Fernandez. In a late battle, Fernandez tried a move but went out of shape and coughed up a couple of positions before Luca Marini tried a last lap dive up the inside of the RC213V, but he too got it wrong and lost out to both riders. In the end, Marquez crossed the line 7th, his best result since the 2022 Malaysian Grand Prix, while Raul Fernandez followed him over in P8, a career best for the number 25, with Marini 9th. Joan Zarco, Alex Marquez and Aleix Espargaro were all involved in a late fight for a place inside the top 10 in Misano. Earlier in the day, Zarco gained the advantage over the Aprilia on lap 3 when both he and Raul Fernandez fired it up the inside of the RSGP. Espargaro hit back on lap 13 to lead the French rider until the latter stages of the race, and then with 6 to go it became a 3-way fight as a slick-looking Gresini machine joined the battle after Alex Marquez dropped behind Fernandez and Marini. This fight went to the last lap when Zarco took 2 for 1 to claim a 10th place finish, first shoving Espargaro out of the way before giving us this fantastic overtake on Marquez. That's it then for the European stage of the championship for now, and history awaits us as MotoGP heads to India for the very first time. It's going to be an unmissable event, so make sure you join us then.